Every home you have ever walked through has had four corners, four walls meeting at right angles, hallways running in straight lines, rooms stacked like boxes inside a larger box. You never questioned it. Nobody questions it, because that is simply what a home is supposed to look like. Until you walk into one that has no corners at all, no hallways, no wasted square footage, no room that exists only because the floor plan needed somewhere to put the space between other rooms. Just one continuous curve wrapping around a center that every single space in the building faces simultaneously. This is the circular Barndominium, and the floor plan inside it is either the smartest thing you have ever seen done with residential space, or it will completely change what you thought a smart floor plan was capable of being. We are going inside right now. Before we step through that door, if you have never seen a home that made you question everything you assumed about how residential space is supposed to be organized, subscribe to Barndominium Haven right now. We tour the Barndominium designs that the mainstream housing market has not caught up to yet, with honest details, honest costs, and the full picture that most content in this space never gives you. Hit the bell so you never miss a tour, and stay until the end of this video, because the final section explains the one thing about the circular floor plan that no render and no photo has ever fully communicated. You have to hear it described to understand why people who live in this building never want to leave it. The tour starts now. Before we walk through the door, let's understand what we are looking at, because the circular Barndominium is not a gimmick. It is not a novelty build that someone constructed to go viral on social media. It is one of the oldest structural forms in human architecture. The circle applied to modern steel frame Barndominium construction with a level of spatial intelligence that most rectangular floor plans spend their entire existence trying to approximate and never quite reaching. The circular Barndominium is built on a steel ring foundation, a continuous concrete grade beam following the perimeter of the circle. The structural steel rises from that ring in a series of curved or segmented panels that form the continuous wall. The roof is typically a low-profile cone, a single geometric surface that sheds water uniformly in every direction simultaneously, or a flat disc with a slight outward pitch for drainage. The structural logic is elegant. A circle distributes load more uniformly than any other shape. There are no corners where stress concentrates, no ridge where two roof planes must be resolved at a single point. The continuous curved wall acts as a structural arch in every direction simultaneously, making the circular Barndominium one of the most wind-resistant residential structures available at this construction cost. Engineers have known this for a very long time. The question was never whether the circle worked structurally. The question was always whether the circle could work as a home. The answer, as you are about to see, is more definitively yes than anyone expected. You see it from the driveway first. And the first thing you notice before the material, before the roofline, before any specific detail, is that it does not have a front. Every other home you have ever approached has presented itself to you. A front door, centered on a facade. A driveway, aimed at a specific face of a building that has decided which direction is forward. The circular Barndominium faces every direction simultaneously. As you walk the perimeter, and you find yourself walking the perimeter, circling it slowly, the way you circle something you are still trying to understand. The building reveals itself differently from every angle. The exterior cladding is dark, corrugated metal deep charcoal, the color of a building that is not trying to impress you from the road. It is trying to be understood from up close. The windows are placed with deliberate asymmetry, not evenly spaced around the circumference, the way a first instinct might suggest, but positioned precisely where the interior functions they illuminate demand them. A wide, horizontal band of glass on the south faced the kitchen and living arc, drawing morning light deep into the social center of the home. Smaller, higher windows on the bedroom arcs light without exposure, privacy without darkness. And at the point where the main entrance has been designated not a grand portico, Not a statement door competing with the building for attention, a deep, sheltered recess cut into the curved wall. A threshold that pulls you in rather than announcing itself. You step toward it not because it is obvious, because it is inevitable. The entry recess is approximately 6 feet deep, carved into the curve of the wall, so that before you open the door, you are already inside the building's geometry. The curved wall wraps partially around you. The roof of the recess shelters you from above. You are not standing outside anymore. You are not inside yet. You are in the threshold, and the threshold of a circular building is a fundamentally different experience than pushing through a flat front door on a rectangular house. You feel the building before you enter it. The door itself is wide, a full 4/8-inch pivot door in blackened steel with a single long handle. It swings open and you step through. And the interior does something that no photograph has ever captured. It opens. Not the way a large room opens wide and exposed and slightly disorienting. It opens the way a landscape opens in every direction simultaneously, with depth at every angle, and a center that your eye finds immediately and returns to without effort. The entry puts you directly on the circumference of the circle, and the center of the building is immediately, completely, undeniably visible from exactly where you stand. You have not moved more than 3 steps inside, and you already understand the entire organization of the home. That instant legibility, that immediate, wordless comprehension of where everything is and how everything connects, is the first gift the circular floor plan gives you, and it keeps giving. Walk toward the center. The floor underfoot is polished concrete sealed and stained in a warm charcoal tone that pulls the exterior material palette into the interior without repeating it literally. The ceiling above you rises as you move toward the center, following the underside of the conical roof from the lower perimeter, where it meets the curved wall up to the apex directly above the center of the building. At the apex, a circular skylight, 3 feet in diameter, positioned precisely at the geometric center of the roof. The column of light that falls from that skylight through the full height of the interior to the floor below lands at the exact center of the home. This is not accidental. The skylight was positioned there specifically so that the center of the building, the point equidistant from every room, every wall, every function in the home, is marked by light. Natural light that moves across the floor with the arc of the sun, a slow, daily rotation of that column of light around the center point that makes the building feel alive in a way that no fixed fixture, no designed lighting scheme, no architectural gesture can replicate. The center of the home is a kitchen island. Round. Of course it is round. Butcher block surface, 4 feet in diameter, positioned directly beneath the skylight. Around it, within a radius of 15 feet, the kitchen arc opens to the left, the living arc opens straight ahead, and the dining arc curves to the right. Everything faces the center. Everything faces each other. There is nowhere in this home from which you are not aware of the center. And that awareness, that constant, gentle, architectural reminder that there is a place this home gathers toward, is the thing that makes this floor plan smart. Not the curved walls, not the skylight. The center. Follow the curve to the left, and you are in the kitchen arc. The kitchen follows the curve of the wall cabinetry built to the radius. Countertops curved to match. A continuous work surface that flows without interruption, from the refrigerator to the range to the sink in one unbroken arc. No corners to clean. No awkward end cabinets with turntables hiding things nobody ever retrieves. Just a continuous, rational, beautifully resolved kitchen that works the way kitchens were always supposed to work, as a single flowing sequence of preparation, cooking, and service. The range sits at the midpoint of the kitchen arc, positioned so that the cook faces the center of the home while working, not facing a wall, not facing a backsplash, facing the living space, the dining space, and anyone sitting at the central island. In this kitchen, the cook is never isolated, is never turned away from the conversation, is always part of whatever is happening in the center of the home. That is not a small thing. In a rectangular kitchen, With the range against the back wall, the cook faces the wall. The conversation happens behind them. They participate by turning around. In this kitchen, the conversation comes to them. The dining arc curves away from the kitchen toward the south-facing glass, a wide arc of windows that fills the dining space with the particular quality of afternoon light that makes a meal feel like something worth sitting still. 4. The dining table is oval. Seats 8. Positioned so that every chair has a view both of the windows and of the center of the home. Nobody sits with their back to the room. Nobody sits facing a wall. Every seat is the best seat. Follow the curve away from the kitchen and dining arc past the living space that occupies the north face of the circle, and the building begins to make its transition from social to private. The circular floor plan handles this transition in a way that rectangular homes struggle to achieve without long hallways that feel institutional. Through arc, the social spaces occupy the southern half of the circle, the half that faces the light, that faces the approach to the home, that faces outward. The private spaces occupy the northern half, the half that faces away from the road, that receives quieter light, that curves inward toward rest and restoration. There are 2 bedroom arcs, each one a curved room following the inner face of the north wall. The primary bedroom occupies the northwest arc, large enough for a king bed positioned against the curved wall, the headboard following the curve. The bed pointing toward the center with a walk-in closet built into the deepest part of the arc where the ceiling is lowest and the space is most contained. The window in the primary bedroom is positioned high on the curved wall above eye level when lying in bed, so that the first thing you see when you open your eyes in the morning is not a neighbor's fence or a street. It is sky. The secondary bedroom occupies the northeast arc, slightly smaller, the same curved wall, the same high window logic. Between them at the exact north point of the circle, the furthest point from the front entry, a shared bathroom positioned at the apex of the private arc. Quiet, contained, the furthest possible point from the social center of the home. As private as a circular building can make a space which turns out to be very private indeed. The bathroom at the north apex of the circle is the primary bathroom shared between the 2 bedroom arcs, but accessible from neither without entering a short curved corridor that provides visual privacy from both directions. The corridor is 4 feet wide and follows the inner circumference, a curved passage between the 2 bedrooms that makes the bathroom feel like a destination rather than a door in the middle of a wall. Inside, a wet room concept, curved tiled walls following the arc. A ceiling-mounted rain shower at the center of the wet room. A freestanding soaking tub positioned against the curved wall beneath a narrow horizontal window that frames a view of the sky and nothing else. A double vanity built to the curved 2 sinks, 2 mirrors, 1 continuous curved countertop that resolves the shared bathroom problem, not through division, but through geometry. The utility spaces, laundry, mechanical, storage, occupy 2 small arcs positioned between the social half and the private half of the circle on the east and west sides. These transitional arcs are the least architecturally significant spaces in the building, deliberately so. The circle does not waste its most powerful geometry on a washing machine. It saves it for the spaces where it matters most. Now let's talk about why this floor plan is genuinely smart, beyond the novelty of the circle, beyond the aesthetic of the curve, in terms that matter to the person who will live here every day for the next 30 years. The circular floor plan eliminates the hallway entirely. In a rectangular home, hallways consume between 8 and 15% of the total square footage that you pay to build, pay to heat and cool, and never once use for anything except moving from one room to another. In the circular floor plan, circulation happens on the circumference. The outer ring of the building serves as the movement path, and every step taken on that circumference is also a step that passes through, or adjacent to, a functional space. You do not walk down a hallway. You walk through the kitchen on your way to the bedroom. You pass the living space on your way to the dining arc. Every movement through the home is also a moment of spatial engagement with the building itself. No wasted square footage, no dead space, No rooms that exist only to connect other rooms. Every square foot earns its place. And the center that open, skylit, island-anchored center is not a room. It is the absence of a room. It is the space that makes every other space feel connected, oriented, and complete. In rectangular architecture, the center of a floor plan is almost always occupied by a hallway, a staircase, a mechanical room, a closet. In the circular barndominium, the center is held open, deliberately, permanently, as the organizational principle around which everything else is arranged. That decision to keep the center empty is the smartest single decision this floor plan makes. And it is the decision that no rectangular floor plan can replicate. Here is what I promised you at the beginning of this tour. The thing no render, no photo, no floor plan drawing has ever fully communicated about the circular barndominium. It is the feeling of orientation. In a rectangular home, in any rectangular home, regardless of size or quality, there is always a moment when you are not quite sure where you are in the building. The hallway that looks like every other hallway. The door that could lead to two different rooms. The corner that could be any of the four corners in a layout you have lived in for 3 years. In a circular home, that moment never happens. Because the center is always visible. Because the curve always tells you which direction you are facing. Because the skylight marks the heart of the building with a column of light that moves with the sun. And you always know where the sun is. You always know where you are, not just physically, but in the deeper sense that good architecture is always trying to achieve, the sense that the building knows you are inside it and has organized itself around the fact of your presence and has made it impossible for you to feel lost or peripheral or forgotten in your own home. The circular barndominium is not the most practical home ever designed. It is not the cheapest. It is not the easiest to permit, or the simplest to finance, or the most straightforward to find a builder for. But it might be the most honest home ever built with steel, because its shape makes one single unwavering promise and keeps it from the first step inside the door to the last moment before the lights go out. You are at the center of this home, always. If this tour showed you something you have never seen before, hit the like button and share it with someone who needs to see it too. Subscribe to Barndominium Haven, the channel that takes you inside the barndominium designs that are redefining what a home can be in 2026 and beyond. Drop a comment and tell us, would you live in a circular barndominium? What would you change? What surprised you most? We read every single one, and we will see you in the next one.